So what would you like to talk about today?
I recently introduced a lesson on a concept of learning target on tone for my 6th and 7th graders.
How'd it go?
I think it went well. They seemed to like it. They did some independent work, but because I took 2 days off, I haven't been able to look at it to see if it actually did go well. I only have the by gut feeling, so the proof will be in the pudding.
Yeah. So you feel like overall we were pretty satisfied with the feeling of how the lesson went?
Because they were engaged. So, because they got into the lesson, I thought that maybe some connections were being made.
Well, what kind of things did you see and hear that led you to believe the lesson was going well?
I had found a really good resource on Prezi, on tone, and there were some parts that were reading parts, so the kids were like jumping on each other, trying to get their hand up to be picked, and I really enjoyed that. And then there was a part where they were doing an acting out. A bunch of kids had their hand up. They wanted to have that part. And then after the video played of the clip of what they just acted out without the punctuation to show tone, they wanted me to play it again. They were really engaged in watching it and laughing. So somewhere the script video was entertaining to them.
So the decisions you made to use some media with the presentation you felt helped students have high engagement?
It seemed that way, yeah.
What other decisions did you make that you felt helped produce a successful lesson?
When it was over and I gave out the handout, they got right into it. Like I felt like maybe it was enough knowledge to where they could now apply it. It didn't have the, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? So that was an indicator.
Okay. So you noticed the handout was a chance for them to apply the learning, and you were satisfied because they were able to do that without a whole lot of guidance at that point.
Right. In fact, I don't even remember answering any questions. I was kind of walking around just observing, and no one had stopped me and wanted any confirmation, and we kind of went through it at a decent pace. So,
How did the decisions you made for this lesson compare to decisions that you've made for other lessons?
sometimes in the past, I don't look for outside resources. Just a time constraint. I was really looking for something that would get it the first time. I didn't want to have to go back and teach it. I wanted to really master the target right away. So I was really looking for something that would hold their attention. And I think I nailed it on that one. So I found something good that they liked.
So using outside resources was successful for you?
Definitely.
How do you feel that the students who don't normally succeed in class, how do you feel that they felt due to this lesson?
Interesting. I think the engagement part was a big part to that. So when I go back and read the paper, I'll really know if they kind of made that connections. But I think them being engaged tapped them into opening up a little bit more than maybe if the concept was too far over their head and then me trying to have them apply it. So maybe having a good starting point for comprehension could help them deepen their thinking when I gave them the task, because I don't think the task was easy.
So you have a feeling that you met them at their knowledge level,
Yes.
and that helped them be able to apply it later on because they were met at their level at the start of the lesson.
Yes.
When you think about the success of that lesson, what's some of the big takeaways that you want to have to be able to replicate that in the future?
That's a great question. A lot of times the kids need scaffolding. I have a lot of levels in the room, so I have some kids that are on the lower spectrum and on the higher spectrum. I'm sure that's everywhere. So I don't want to scaffold in a way where the kids that are high are not hanging in there with me, and then I'm holding them hostage, so to speak, and then the kids that are on the low end feel like I'm insulting them. So I think finding something that crosses that scaffolding line that all of them are entertained with or enjoying. I need to find that fun factor. I think that would that might be it, so that, because it was good, I mean, it was a Prezi, so then it had the video, then it had the acting out part, so it had a lot, it had the movement, it had the auditory part, had the visual part, so there were lots of different learning modes in there. I have to remember that next time.
So you feel like you're hitting a lot of modalities within this lesson?
Yeah.
You're developing a profile. If you hit these modalities, you're going to get the results that you saw the other day.
Yeah, I'll have probably maximum engagement versus not.
So what might be some factors of how you would want to apply that to your next lessons?
I'm highly motivated to find just the right thing that it's going to give them that aha or that excitement to get them in, you know, that hook and hold to capture them. So, because it felt good, it felt right, I'm going to seek out more of that versus open your textbook. Here's a graphic. What can you infer from the graphic or whatever it is? It's not necessarily motivating, even though some of the kids do the process because they're used to doing what the teacher says.
Right.
Where coming outside the box, I think, was good.
So you're hopeful of finding more ways of getting the kids up and moving and viewing video and otherwise interacting with the text as opposed to more of a sit and get type
Yeah, absolutely.
pieces of it.
Yeah.
Where's your thinking now?
I'm thinking that I need to get my hands on their applied knowledge and see if they still need more work. If they got it, then I can, you know, move on. If not, I need to look for a secondary resource or bring small groups in. That's where the formative assessment comes in. I won't know until I have that information in front of me. Normally I don't like to wait 2 days. So
Yeah.
and then it's a weekend and now I have to go back on Monday and say, okay, now we gotta do a lot of recalling. Hopefully I won't have that.
So your hunch is they got it, but there's going to be some reconstructing to kind of build up momentum.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.